right, Coops, what are we doing here?
We are making a bracket for our clutch fluid / brake fluid reservoir.
All right, so what's the idea behind this?
Get rid of unnecessary stuff, get rid of ugly stuff. We've got 2 canisters that came through. You know, you've got your clutch, you got your brake. Had them sitting like somewhere, and they're just not as pretty as they could be. They're both going to have the same fluid in them. So the idea is to take this little guy here, go in, now I'm down there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a barbed fitting right in there for that one there. Attach there, and come off the front and come off the side. And that should be able to just sit, and that should clear the hood. We'll see.
Yep.
Since the firewall isn't perfectly straight, we're going to make a backing plate to which we'll attach the reservoir, allowing us to use spacers, making everything line up exactly how we want. Using the backing plate also allows us to take advantage of stock holes in the firewall, helping us to keep things looking as clean as possible. We're going to be utilizing riv nuts a lot on Snoopy. They're cheap, easy to install, and a great alternative to adding threads into fairly thin metal. So like I said earlier, the plan was to use the 1/8" NPT port on the bottom of the reservoir, then tap in 2 additional barbed fittings for the brake and clutch cylinders. But as we were dry fitting everything together, we quickly realized we were just too close to the brake cylinder and that wouldn't work. So we ended up scooting the whole thing over and tapping in 3 1/8" NPT to barbed fittings onto the driver's side of the reservoir. We then ran EPDM hose to both the clutch and brake cylinders. Next, we're going to quickly tackle the coolant overflow tank. We found a generic reservoir that's perfect for our plans. It's already painted black and should be easy to mount to the frame. We want it to stay near the stock location, but we also want the tank to blend in and practically disappear. We're able to use one existing bolt hole, so we'll drill one hole and use a riv nut for the other side.
You about tight?
That's it.
That's it.
That's the right one.
That's beautiful. Look at this thing.
Now that that's out of the way, it's time to start powder coating.
Hey, Coop, what are we doing?
Powder coating.
We are?
Yeah!
What we got? We got one in the oven.
Got a radiator bracket going.
We got the next one up in line right here.
Ready to go into the oven, and we're getting ready to do the spark plug cover.
Oh.
Because
In Snoopy 1.0, we used Duplicolor Low Gloss Black spray paint for pretty much everything that was black in the engine bay. While some of it held up okay, other parts started to look pretty rough after a short amount of time. For Snoopy 2.0, we want to add durability and quality, so we're going to be powder coating everything we can. We're using the Harbor Freight powder coating gun and powder, along with the biggest electric toaster oven we could find on Amazon. A huge factor in determining the quality of the finished product is prepping the parts. We wire wheeled, scrubbed, and degreased every part to the best of our abilities. because the cleaner the surface, the better the final coating. We also used silicone tape and silicone plugs to cover any surfaces and protect any threads where we didn't want paint. It stands up to the heat, and once it's done cooking, they are super easy to remove. Once the part has been fully coated, we carefully hang it in the oven for the curing process. While I'm sure there are much better setups we could have used, we're super happy with the way things turned out, and the results speak for themselves.
All right, Coop, what are we doing?
Hi. This is a 5.
It is.
So we are testing fitment of the exhaust manifold
Yeah.
and parts of the new turbo.
Yeah, so we've done a few things that we haven't documented.
Yeah.
So now we're
a couple.
Bring you up to speed here.
All right. So, for one, I need catch cans. Boom. So we took some aluminum flat stock here, gave her a couple bins. We just used an existing bolt hole there, and we were able to nutsert a bolt right there, and that worked out very well. So this one is gonna feed in and back out to the intake, and this one right here have to slide under and go, what, not there, right to the intake.
Yep, back to the intake pipe, yeah. So the other thing we did is we finished the cable management for the electrical and the wire harness.
All the electrical's done.
That's all that of the wire harness that's left coming from in the cabin. So, as it sits right now, everything is actually plugged in.
Yes, we opened up the harness, cut back some wires that we didn't need.
Lengthened some,
reloomed to make it just as clean as we could do without new harness, new everything, to try and just make it more purpose driven. This is only going here. It doesn't have to be 20 feet long. Hidden some stuff, place some stuff in strategic spots to where as few wires are seen as possible, because a clean engine bay is a happy heart.
Oh, show them the fuse box. Alex Perry came in clutch.
Yes. He
and
made us a brickhacket.
The fuse box is down in here now. So all of our nasty wires and everything are completely hidden. Fuse box is accessible, and it's right side up even.
Yes.
So we'll have a quick release bumper on this bad boy, and we'll be able to pop this off if we need to adjust a fuse or...
But if you take another look from up here, just try and find that fuse box.
Yeah, you can't see it.
I'll be darned if you do.
If you look hard, you can see the wires,
Okay.
but that's it.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be radiator, fans,
Intercooler, piping,
all sorts of stuff. You won't see that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine. We did install the intake manifold, the 1G and a throttle body, and coils. Obviously, we ran the non-cruise throttle cable.
This is the RTM Racing
Yes.
Evo 3 bracket.
Yes.
This is actually an Evo 2 manifold, but
Evo 2, no EGR.
No
Which
EGR.
was very nice. Yeah, RTM actually, I got that in a day.
yeah, they shipped it so fast.
From Canada, and this is Indiana.
We've got a brand new Gallant throttle cable, so nice and long, but we wrapped it underneath. And it looks really nice and new. You can see our map sensors back there. Got one for the gauge, one for the ECU for logging.
Did a complete rebuild on the throttle body.
Yep.
We had it taken apart because obviously she'd been painted.
Powder coated.
Powder coated.
We powder coated it.
Powder coated it.
Yeah.
So obviously we were going to take the extra step and just do things a little bit right.
And get one of those throttle stop screws. So much extra.
So then we also have our boost control solenoid mounted.
Boost
now,
control solenoid is mounted. It is.
and ready to be wired. hidden nicely.
Down in here.
Gonna work great instead of having a floating T where you ended up just plumbing it right
Yeah, we
in.
just kind of made a little manifold looking thing.
And then we've got the one more port to install, but that will just take but a moment.
Got the horn there now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's coming together. We've got some more test fitment to do with the turbo. We're still waiting on the compressor housing.
It has shipped.
Oh, it has
on
shipped.
its way.
Okay.
Yes.
Where's it? That's New Jersey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it won't be too much longer. I expect
Nope.
at the beginning of this.
Oh, Cooper, we've got the intercooler on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this turned out actually
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah, it did.
I was worried, but
So look at this thing. It is
mint.
I mean, the clearance. Look at all the clearance. We didn't have to trim the radiator, the crash support at all.
Why you guys had to?
Yeah. Everybody ends up trimming them.
Chrome spacers. They were using those chrome spacers.
That's what it is.
Okay.
See, if you just take your time and you use the right tools, and look, it's adjustable actually. You can adjust it for
So the good thing about that is
the elevation.
the way that the wind is gonna go, it's gonna kind of turn with it, kind of like a windmill that
Yes.
that turns its head into the wind.
It's always facing the right way.
Yeah, it's variable direction. That way, it's
Right.
getting the
So when you
natural
go
airflow.
over speed bumps, it adjusts for that.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
So it'll be
really
good.
nice.
We'll get the most BTUs dropped per speed bumps
yes
of anybody.
Yeah, that's a hard calculation, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be.
Yeah, we
pretty
did the
efficient.
rough math, but it was close.
It's gonna be plenty efficient.
Yeah. So. Yep. So we did test. We had the radiator with the fan shroud put in, and the wastegate here, and it's close, but it just fits, and the hood also fits too. So far this cheapy Rev 9 manifold is pretty good.
It's working out.
I mean, believe it or not, we're using a T3 style hot side on a 25G here, so with the V-band outlet, and somehow the drain lines right up. So we've got a not stock hot side and a not stock manifold, and the height is exactly your stock.
It's super random.
And left and right is stock too. It's how it lines up stock. So it's pretty interesting. Didn't expect that.
No.
We're still gonna do a 10 AN drain. We're not gonna use that thing. It was just
it's old. Its life has been lived.
it served its purpose. But yeah, but yeah, this is gonna be pretty nice. This turbo's beautiful. So yep, that's the latest on the Snoops. We're gonna sneak the injector wires up between the runners here. We added about 8 or 10 inches to those.
Yes, each one. Reloomed it, so it's all good. It all looks pretty.
We use the marine shrink tube, so it's got that goo in it.
That watertight seal.
Yeah,
Only the best.
only the best.
In the next episode, we're gonna dig into the turbo, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it.
We'll make it happen.
Oh, and Camden's here.
Hi.